Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Lynn and today I am going to make a gatefold explosion card. I learned how to make this during a mystery craft along hosted by Stamper Girl here on YouTube. In her mystery craft along, she showed us how to make a 5x7 and today I will adapt that to a USA 2. So I'm starting off with a piece of heavyweight cardstock that's been cut to 8.5 by 5.5. Along the 8.5 inch edge, I'm scoring at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, and 6 3/8. So along that 8.5 inch edge, scoring at 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Now I'm going to cut down my pattern paper, and this is from the So Refreshing paper pad, and I think it was part of an earlier box of the month. And you can cut this down to whatever size you'd like. It just depends on how much of the card base you want to show. The panel, each of those 4 panels that you see on the explosion, the inside of the explosion, measures 2 1/8 by 5.5. So you can cut down your pattern paper accordingly. So we have 4 panels on the inside that measure 2 1/8 wide by 5.5 tall. And then on top of that, you want 2 more panels, exactly the same size, that will be for the front of our gatefold card. And again, that those gates will measure 2 1/8 by 5.5. So you can cut down to leave as much or as little of a border as you'd like. So with that part done, this piece of cardstock I've cut to 4 1/4 tall by 8.5 wide, and then putting the exact same score lines, 2 1/8, 4 1/4, 6 3/8. Now I'm going to put some diagonal score lines in. If you look at this rectangle, and you divide it in half, it makes 2 squares. And in each of those squares, I am just going to create or score 2 diagonal lines that divide that square in half diagonally, and then I'm going to rotate and do that again. So it might be easier to show you this way. The blue and green lines were those first score lines, 2 1/8, 4 1/2, 6 3/8. The yellow lines are the diagonal score lines that I've just put in. And basically, if you look at this rectangle as 2 squares, those yellow diagonal lines divide the square diagonally into, I guess you can consider it 4 sections. But those are the score lines that you want to put in. And it's best if this paper is maybe a lightweight layering. You don't want thin copy paper, so I would recommend something in the 65-pound range. And I think the Not Too Shabby Shop papers aren't going to be big enough for this, but I would say if you're not too sure of paper weight, the Not Too Shabby papers are a smidge too thick, I think, for this. So if you're trying to gauge how thin or thick of a paper you should use here, and you have Not Too Shabby Shop paper, go with something that's a little bit lighter weight than the Not Too Shabby Shop papers. And so for this, all I'm going to do is fold and burnish all of my score lines, and it actually is helpful if you go ahead and fold it in both directions, and that way it softens those edges a little bit, and that just makes everything collapse in much more easily. So you'll find this will kind of accordion fold down into a triangle, and so that is what you're going to end up with, and that's actually the explosion part. Now to cut some mats and layers for decorating that explosion. This small square here measures 1 3/4 inch square, and I'm cutting it in half diagonally. You will need 4 squares for a total of 8 triangles. And that's where they're gonna go. Then what you want is for the remaining sections, you'll want to start with a square that is 2 5/8 square. You'll need 2 of those pieces, and you cut each of them in half to give you 4 triangles. So just to repeat all of that, this right here is 2 5/8 inch square. You'll need 2 of those, cut that in half to get 4 triangles. The smaller squares were 1 3/4 of an inch. You need to start with 4 squares, cut those in half to get 8 triangles. Now, my video today is actually going to feature the Stamp and Die of the Month for May 2023, and my video is actually part of a giveaway hop. So my teammates and I are all sharing projects that feature the Stamp and Die of the Month. To find all of those projects, you can click on the hashtag N2SOMyStars. That should be in the video title of this video. If for some reason that does not bring up all of the videos in the hop, you can also expand the description box below and you'll find direct links to all of the videos that my teammates are sharing. To enter the giveaway though, after you've watched all the videos, left a like and a comment, maybe even subscribe to the channel if you like what you see, do open the description box on any of the participating videos and you'll see a link to Rafflecopter. That's how you can put all of your information in to enter the giveaway. And when the Not Too Shabby shop picks a winner of the gift certificate to the shop, they'll know how to contact you so that you know how to claim your prize. So now all I'm going to do is just glue all of these triangles into my explosion here. I've found that liquid adhesive is great. It gives you a little bit of that wiggle room. You should have a little bit of a border showing all the way around the triangle. And so you should be able to still collapse all of this down. To adhere it, I'm only putting glue behind the larger triangles. So this bit of glue here, I'm going to fold the gate over to attach it. And then I'm going to do the same on this end, fold the gate over to attach it. That way, you know this is all going to close down nice and flat. So again, you only want glue behind those larger triangle pieces. The smaller, in my case, the smaller green triangles, you want free to move. This little piece of cardstock here measures 1 inch tall by 3 inches wide, and I've scored it at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inches, and 2.5 inches. So with that, I've got all of my pieces in place, and now I can start to put my elements in. This is a small little pop-up mechanism, and along the 1/2 inch glue tabs, I'm applying glue and sticking that right into the middle. Be sure to not cross over that score line. So this is how it should look when it's glued down. There's only glue on the 1/2 inch glue tabs, and the pop-up mechanism should be free to actually extend upwards. So then that's a perfect spot to highlight a focal image. So I've cut down a couple of circles here. I've got a scallop circle, and I also have some stamped images from the Stamp of the Month. And this is so perfect because there's lots of fireworks stamps, and I love the sentiment that that you can have here. It says "Celebrate with a bang," which I think it's perfect for 4th of July, but I really think this could work for anything. New Year's card would be great. And in fact, there were some beautiful papers from an earlier box of the month with fireworks and whatnot. So that would be really great for New Year's as well. And then on the outside, I have another stamped image. This is the little bunny. He's holding a banner that says USA. And again, I'm going to add some mats and layers behind this bunny with some scalloped circles. And I'm going to create a belly band. Now for this, I'm going to do a belly band that actually covers the seam in the center. So my belly band's going to run vertically. And I am wrapping, this piece is 1.5 inches wide and it's 11 inches long. And I've just done a soft wrap around the top and the bottom. And to hide the gap, because you're not going to have enough cardstock to go all the way around, I'm using this focal image that I've made. Now, the thing with this card is that it's gonna end up being a little bit chunky. So you will probably need extra postage if you want to send this through the mail, because we have that explosion on the inside with so many layers of cardstock. And with the belly band, it just depends on how much you're layering, but here's a final look at that explosion. How fun is that? And this stands beautifully. You get all of that fun dimension, and it's just a really neat card, and it looks hard, but it's super easy to do. I hope you give it a try. Thanks for catching my video today. Be sure to hop along, hashtag N2S Oh My Stars, and enter the giveaway for a chance to win a gift certificate to the Not Too Shabby Shop. Until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye!